Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about balance and the beauty in opposites. In Ayurveda we see that like attracts like. So when we have two things that are similar, they will bind together very quickly, obviously. And then they will either shoot up or shoot down out of balance. But when we have two opposing things, they balance each other out beautifully. Now here's an example. Relationships. I used to write lists about what I wanted in the perfect guy and how similar he'd be and how much we would have in common and all the things that basically were like, hey, why don't I just look in a mirror and talk to myself because that's how much I love me. Well, those relationships all went down the pooper because in Ayurveda there's a little thing called doshas. And doshas are vata, pitta and kapha. And they are the fundamental elements that exist within the cosmos. If you want to get a bit more of an understanding of what Ayurveda is, you can check out my video, What is Ayurveda? Which I'll put the link down below. But these doshas, these elements, are made up within our body. So I'm a dominant pitta. Pitta being dominated by fire and water. Fire is that digestive element. It helps to process it. It has that flame effect. So over-aggravated, pittas can get aggravated, literally. They can get too much heat going on. So too much heat, you obviously think of too much anger and but when vata gets imbalanced, they go in the mind, and anxiety and gets riddled and worrisome and all sorts of things like that. But then we have the kaphas. The kaphas are the water and the earth elements, and they have that grounding, that stability, that denseness. So when out of balance, they can get stagnant and rigid and not want to budge and stubborn. But when my husband came along, we have a beautiful opposing doshas. So mine is pitta vata. He's definitely kapha with traits of pitta. And what happens is my beautiful pitta fire keeps him on his toes, and his stable, grounding, logical thinking helps me to stay balanced and not my head in the clouds the whole time. Now if we look at the seasons, we're in winter, and winter is dominated by kapha and vata. It's that cold, wet, dense, windy. So we see all those elements around us. What do we have to do? We have to do the opposite. We have to stay warm. We have to keep moving, get that heat up. We have to do a bit more exercise. We have to have the hot, passionate sex. We have to eat warming foods, stay away from cold, dense, moist, wet foods. So like cold smoothies will just literally go down your gullet like concrete. And cold water, the same thing. Put your digestive fire out straight away. We want to stay away from the salads, the raw food, because that's really hard to digest. So we're seeing again how Ayurveda is bringing this beautiful opposites, this equilibrium and balance to the plate. This is part of all of our cosmos. So when we can start to understand the beauty in opposites and balancing that act, we will have a better digestion because we'll know what foods to be eating to balance our dosha. We'll know how to live in harmony through the seasons, and having a greater understanding of you will awaken you to endless possibilities of wonder. It's just the beginning when we start to tap into our own innate journey and our own understanding. So have an awesome week, and I will see you soon.